That
Talk about Kojima's fucking weirdness. See, okay, how about this? All right, talk about artistic integrity. He wanted Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5 just to be with her tits out. Remember that?
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, you put a woman in the game and you just need to have her tits out." And then he's like, "I promise you, there's a
reason.
really good reason why her tits need to be out. You will find out when you play the game." And then later you find out that apparently her skin is photosynthetic. So her skin needs to be exposed so that it has access to the sun. And it's like, okay, there's the really good reason for the tits out. I feel like you could have removed the photosynthesis and put the tits away and things would have still been okay.
No, actually, though, another good one is the VR. Is it worth money? Is it worth your time? Is it entertaining?
Doey said in the chat the other day that price point they just released for the PSVR 2, pretty good.
I liked it.
$500, $550, I think you said.
$550. Yeah, I think in entry price for VR, I think it's gonna be cool.
No way.
I have yet to have a VR, so maybe I'm not like past that introductory phase that everybody else has gotten through. So maybe I'm more excited for it. But I remember playing Half-Life Alyx for like 45 minutes and I just wasn't it wasn't doing it for me. I gotta be completely honest.
Really?
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good enough. Like, I mean, I've seen videos and stuff. It's different, but I put the VR ones on before, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't get the hype behind it.
It has bad resolution. I didn't like the VR one. It has really terrible resolution. Everything looks blurry.
So friend of the pod and former guest Corey, he says that he's like our biggest like VR evangelist right now. He's trying to get everyone into the VR train. But I have watched Corey play some games that look cool, but a lot of the VR games just look the same. It looks like there's not a lot of innovation happening in VR right now.
It's also hard. Like, you can't get. I mean, are they capable of getting 4K on those little ass screens?
I think when it's that close, it doesn't matter that much. Like, I don't think that the what's holding VR back is like the fidelity of the picture or anything. I think that it's more that just there's not a lot of variety in games. You have what? You have an on-the-rails shooter, or you have some kind of like teleport around and shoot people, battle royale, multiplayer experience. Half-Life Alyx looks different. Beat Saber is rad. Beat Saber might be like that's his almost made me buy a VR rig, but I'm not spending $500+ just to play Beat Saber.
Yeah, nah, definitely.
And I never want to see a recording of myself playing Beat Saber in VR because you look like a dummy in VR. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, you probably look like a dummy in real life.
Yeah.
I mean,
for the price of the PlayStation VR 2, I think it's fine. $550 is steep, but arguably it's still gonna be one of the lowest price points for VR around. Even if there are cheaper VR headsets, the barrier for entry for that headset is still more expensive when you need a high-end PC to utilize that thing.
I think some of them are all in one. Like the Quest, I think one of the Quest is all in one, but like you're limited in what you can play. Like
yeah, but isn't the Quest like super, like kind of low end? Like it's like like not in a bad way, but it's like your lower tier VR. Like it's an all-in-one thing. It doesn't have like the power of a PC rig or something like that.
I don't even think the Oculus sold that much when it first dropped, and that was like the best of the best.
I'm not sure. Like the entry price for good VR has seemed to hover around like $800 to like $1,000 or something like that. So like this is definitely undercutting that if it delivers on performance, if they've upped the quality from the previous iteration. I just don't find a lot of VR games interesting. I've seen a handful that have like some amount of innovation. Half-Life Alyx does look cool from what I've seen because it's got a full story that's dedicated. It seems like the story is what's making that one. But a lot of games are just shooters. They're just standard shooters. A lot of them just look like straight up Counter-Strike from like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that is the main thing, and is why I never bought a PSVR 1 or another VR headset, even though maybe I've had a PC capable of running it. It's just that, like, the apps just aren't there. There's a couple funny, quirky ones. Like, I've seen people play, like, Surgeon Simulator in VR, and that seemed cool. Half-Life Alyx seems amazing. Beat Saber seems amazing. And even Resident Evil 7, even though I'm not a big fan of that one, it's a cool game for VR. It's a full game experience. But beyond those games, I don't know what else is VR. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they're really missing that, like the game. You know, like, I'm here to play the games, and it seems like they're missing that component. A lot of the games are simple, like either little puzzle games or on rails shooters. Like, you know, it's like, I'm kind of past that. Like, I played Time Crisis in like '96. It's like, I ain't trying to keep playing that game. You know what I mean?
There was that one. It was like either Dying Light or something like that. It was like literally an on-rails shooter. You're in it like a roller coaster the entire time you're playing this like VR shooter game.
The company that Doe mentioned.
Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Was it Until Dawn?
Yeah, Russia Blood, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, that one
like a
is
fucking carnival or some shit.
One is literally an on-rails shooter. You're in a fucking a little like runaway train ride the entire time.
Like, I mean, like right now, there's of 2022, the Meta Quest 2 is like the best VR, and it's $400. So, like, I don't know how
It's the best VR?
as of the best VR headset of 2022.
Facebook's shit?
No,
Probably
CNET.
probably like balancing like price with like the entry level because it's all in one combined with,
and it's still the most affordable
whatever.
one out of all of them. Like,
People were trashing the shit out of those graphics.
that's how I feel about the VR one. That's how almost all the VRs.
Nah. Go look up the avatar for Mark Zuckerberg. The PSVR didn't look like that. I'm sorry. Like, Mark Zuckerberg looks like Windows 95 The Sims is what it looked like.
That
Like,
bad?
it looked old.
Damn.
It looked old. Like, it just didn't, it looked like a cartoon.
You're a $1 billion company. Give us something better than this.
I mean, like right now, VR sales this year is at 14.19 million. So I mean, it has gone up.
Million with
Million
an M?
with an M.
That seems so low.
That's
honestly.
tiny.
That's up. I would think it wasn't that high like years ago.
Like VR hardware sales?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not dollars. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
definitely
yeah.
high. Okay, I
Like,
thought that you were.
There are 14 something million VR headsets in circulation. That's what you're saying, Tony?
Like additional ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they got. Yeah, that they purchased.
That seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, that's a big up. Like, I mean,
that market is definitely growing, and we need that. We need the market to grow because the only way we're going to get more quality of games is if there's more people buying the VR headset. I'm just not sold on it yet. I can't talk myself into it.
Facebook went all in. They rebranded their whole company because of VR. You know what I mean? So they must
See the potential.
Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but as a major tech company, they must be seeing something.
I heard that meta shit's not doing very well right now.
No, because it's corny. I mean, the same shit. Same shit with Twitter. Twitter is looking cornier and cornier by the day.
This Twitter situation's ridiculous.
Is it getting bad?
But yeah, there's a lot. You haven't been on Twitter recently. There's been a lot of bullshit going on in the last like 36 hours or so. But
there's like the $8 check mark situation. There's
the banned parody accounts.
Right, the banned
a bunch
parody
of people
accounts.
paid $8 to get verified. Then they changed their name to Elon Musk, and then they were tweeting out all kinds of crazy shit.
Then there was like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she criticized Elon Musk and that her Twitter account wasn't behaving properly. She was saying weird shit was happening, and the implication was she believed that because she, criticized Elon Musk, that he did something to her account. Who the fuck knows? Elon came out saying allegedly Twitter employees were charging $15,000 for check marks for people. Who the fuck knows if that's true? There's just a lot of shit going around with Twitter. Elon Musk wanted to charge $15. Stephen King said, I'm not paying $15 for this bullshit.
You should pay me.
He's like, you should pay me for creating free content for you. He's like, okay, $8. This is live on Twitter. He's trying to figure out his business model with his users live.
Well, he got rid of the entire board of directors and everyone else up top, dude.
Yeah, I heard he fired. There was a video. I didn't know if it was real, but he fired somebody live on air or some shit, some HR or something with Twitter. He was like, "Yeah, that's a big mistake. You're fired." I was like, "Is this real? Is this edited? Like this shit seems crazy."
It could be. There's a class action lawsuit boiling up right now because they didn't give the proper notice under California law. Like, there's all kinds of bullshit with Twitter going on right now.
Yeah,
None of it though
just
having to do with VR.
Yeah, none of it has to do with VR.
I would love to see them virtually fire someone.
It has a lot to do with my statement of they're a major tech company. Maybe they know what's going on, and you guys are pointing out, there's other major tech companies that don't got it all together. So who the fuck knows? I'm just saying, man. If a $1 billion company that makes billions a year goes all in on something, they got to be seeing something. They wouldn't do it blindly. You know
That's
what
what we were talking about. Those focus groups, those marketing feelers, all the committee shit that comes along with being a $1 billion company.
I just don't know what kind of games like not all right, like racing games, flying games, like even maybe simulator games. I think that would be great. But
that's what I get hung up on too. I don't know what I want from VR. I just know it's not what is out there currently.
yeah,
I've seen some cool shit. I bought Corey a mech game, and that game looks badass. You're in a mech suit. You're like flipping little switches to turn shit on. It looks cool. Wouldn't hold my attention for more than like 30 minutes.
I think those games would be VR would be great for fucking like RPG games where it's just you. You're not really like VR multiplayer should never happen. I don't think, just me personally, but like RPG games, like if you're playing like a game like Death Stranding or fucking a Witcher or or
Tony,
even a Zelda.
Tony, I need to correct you. Death Stranding is not an RPG game. It's a Strand type game.
My bad. Thank you for the
True.
correction.
It's a whole new genre. It's called Strand.
But games like that.
Talk about Kojima's fucking weirdness. Okay, how about this? All right, talk about artistic integrity. He wanted Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5 just to be with her tits out. Remember that?
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, oh, you put a woman in the game and you just need to have her tits out. And then he's like, I promise you, there's a really good reason why her tits need to be out. You will find out when you play the game. And then later you find out that apparently her skin is photosynthetic. So her skin needs to be exposed so that it has access to the sun. And it's like, okay, there's the really good reason for the tits out. I feel like you could have removed the photosynthesis and put the tits away and things would have still been okay.
No, that was super important for her character.
Yep. And she's quiet. She can't tell you.
Remember how she
problem.
drinks water through her skin? She's like, when it rains. That's really weird.
That shit's funny. But no, like even like imagine VR with what is it? What's that space game? Fucking got a million planets you can never fucking.
No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky does have a VR version.
They
now.
do? I didn't know that. See, like that shit, like you're in a cockpit and you're fucking just touching buttons. Like games like that, I feel are great. I don't know.
Maybe it's the porn companies are going to change it up for us. Because
those waiting for that.
VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, all these things, like they really caught on apparently due to like the porn industry adopting these formats.
I'm going to throw you guys a thought. You put on this suit, right? You put on the VR goggles. Now you connect into a room with your lover across the seas. They can be in Hong Kong. They can be wherever they want. And when they touch you, it's like sand and it'll mold to your suit and you feel their touch. They can hug you and you'll feel it on your back like compressed, that somebody is holding you. I think that like emotionally love being able to visit your friends and parents across. Like, I think that's where it has, for me, I would like, you know what I mean?
Tony, you remember in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, there's this one random character you just get a shot of on the street, and he's like got a VR headset on, and he's got like some kind of like tube thing over his crotch, and he's just there like writhing in pleasure / pain. I think we got a peek at Doey.
Yeah.
That's Doey in that anime.
For
In
sure.
Doe's defense, what he just described is literally, I forget what it's called, but the machines they use in Ready Player One.
Those are
There's
also
a
machines they
book?
use in the Matrix to milk you so they can make more human beings.
Not quite the same. That's gross. They're milking those humans. That's terrible. Every wet dream every human's ever had, those machines are slurping it all up, putting it
Scooping it
right
up.
back into the baby machine.
And-
But now in Ready Player One, they have that. These people get into these machines. They're almost like sitting in like I always picture like a motorcycle pose or something like that. It's a book I read a while ago. But they this whole contraption wraps their whole body, and they have like these little feelers that'll pop out, and like, you know, anything that they touch in the VR world is physically actually touching them, and it has like different vibration and things like that. So they get the sensation of walking on grass. They get the sensation of walking on ice, or, you know, kissing up or rubbing up on your cock. You know what I mean?
I mean, and though, just to throw it out there, they have like a fleshlight and like a dildo, I guess, that's connects to the internet. And if your partner is somewhere across the world and you guys both turn it on, you both are masturbating, and it's the speed of however fast each other is going. So you don't even need VR for that, though. Just throwing it out there for you.
Doey fucking
need that.
draxed me just now. He was standing so still
I
in
thought he
one
was booted
little
too,
spot,
yeah.
just looking down.
Pucho, check the Zencaster.
Yeah, you're good. I don't care. It went offline again, but whatever.
It was a program that kept popping up. I gotta make sure I close it
It's
next
that
time.
VR, bro. It's that VR. You got the VR
It's a program
open.
that I had enabled. It kept doing something, and I was like,
what
"What
program did you have enabled?
RAM something game center
We're definitely not editing any of this out, right?
The Xbox shit.
gamer zone some shit that like
Isn't that the Pornhub?
it like optimizes my computer for certain things."
Man, by the Oculus has it hooked up. Don't even know how to turn it off.
The guy that walks by playing Jesus stuff is walking by. He's
That's
the
so
guy
bizarre.
every day. He same time.
But no, like, I think some of these games in VR is like beneficial. Like, I think all similarity games would be dope. RPGs, like I said, seeing Zelda or maybe playing Super Mario, and that fucking.
But how would the VR help you in that?
It's not a help.
like,
it just
what-
it would
Well,
aesthetically.
sorry, not help. But you're playing Zelda. Okay, it's a top-down game. What are you VRing in this?
I thought he was talking about Breath of the Wild,
Yeah, thank you. That game. I was saying more of that game.
but I
You
also
saying
don't
you
know.
would change the game to be first person?
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. Well, it fundamentally changes the game. So it's like it's weird to say.
yeah. No,
Zelda.
VR.
So I'm just curious. Super Mario Brothers, a fucking side scroller. What is a VR gonna add to that? Like,
Well, no, I mean on the Switch, like you can go in first person when you look into the camera and shit. But like, I'm about to say, like games coming out, like if they're gonna do VR, they need to make games more orientated for VR. Right now, they're
I
making
think-
games and they're just kind of adding VR to it.
yeah, they're doing what you're describing. You're like, oh, I want Super Mario Bros. When VR. It's like imagine you're in the first person playing Mario Odyssey.
It'd be terrible.
Like you can't really see the level. It'd be hard to situate yourself. I don't know.
You put on the VR headset to play Super Mario Bros. And it just like simulates you sitting in a beanbag chair back in the 90s with like a little Nintendo controller in front of you.
The Sega collection does something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Sega collection that when you play, you see a TV with the Sega game in it. That'd be like a VR of sorts. It'd be like you glued to the TV as a kid, like, you know, and all you can see is.
Your mom yells at you to get back from the TV. You're gonna go blind.
But nah,
No, I mean, VR games just seem gimmicky now. Like they just seem a little gimmicky. We need more like big name games to come out. Like Half-Life is the only one I can think of that is like a major game series that made a successful VR game.
And Resident Evil 7. It was
Resident Evil
good.
7, yeah, fair.
But besides those two, I'm with you. That's why I was never sold on VR. Is why I didn't buy PlayStation VR. I was like, look, until they have some killer app, killer game, this must-have. Half-Life Alyx was close to a must-have for me. I've been a Half-Life fan for, thanks to Doe, for, I don't know, a decade and a half at this point. And this is the first Half-Life content that's come out in about as long. So it's like...
That remake of Half-Life 1 is actually pretty good. Black Mesa or Escape from Black Mesa or whatever the hell it's called. I've been playing through that one.
I played that when it first came out in like 2013. And yeah, they didn't have Zen. Zen wasn't finished. So when you get to Zen, the thing was over. And then they were like, cool, we'll make Zen. And it's been like 8 years. And they finally...
In like 2021.
Yeah, I know. They revamped a lot of stuff, but it's taken them like 8 years since they initially released the game to say, okay, we're finally done with Zen. I don't know what the fuck happened. I know they had a lot of like staffing issues. A lot of people that used to work on the game weren't available and things like that.
Well, it was a free project for a while, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I think they finally have their full release. I think it's full release now.
Yeah, NoClip did a thing on them when they released it.
How do you feel about the VR though, where you can they have you can watch sports using VR?
I don't understand the point.
It's like theater mode, I guess, in VR. I don't know. I feel like
that shit is fire. Like
Sidelines.
Do they put like a helmet cam on someone and then you get to watch from like the quarterback's point of view every
would
game?
be cool.
I saw that for basketball. They're on the courtside seats or something, and there's got a camera there, and you're able just to if you're sitting there courtside.
I guess that's kind of cool. I was okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that would be
right,
cool.
and that's what I was saying. Like that is an application of VR that a lot of people don't think about, and it's like that's something that I was kind of waiting for. Is like once you can go to any concert in the world from the comfort of your living room. Granted, not the same, but probably better than just not enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe you get to be like backstage or be on the side stage and watch your favorite band because somebody's standing there with cameras, and you know what I mean? Like you'll be able to access angles that you wouldn't be able to.
You can do a VR tour of the Louvre or something. I bet that actually exists. I bet that's the thing. I'm actually surprised the educational educational companies haven't looked more into VR technology. Maybe they have. Maybe I'm just out of the loop with that. It seems like a practical application.
I think as VR becomes more inexpensive, which is why I like what Oculus is doing and why I like what PSVR is doing, is making it more affordable. I feel like when you see it become more affordable is when you start to see everybody start to use it, and then certain people start to use it in a certain way. And I think it's going to create some communities, but you have to make it available for everyone. There can't be like this barrier for entry where it's like $1,000, $2,000. It just doesn't work. And what you want is the masses in there, but the masses aren't rich. We're
gonna know that VR is like finally mainstream when we see the Virtual Boy 2. The second that Nintendo announced that Virtual Boy 2, the $300 Nintendo VR headset, that's where we're gonna know that shit's here to stay.
Yep.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. I mean, VR for me is not something I want. It's not entertaining yet. It's just, fuck out of here with that shit. But we'll see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us this long of the show, what happened, though? Thank you. You stuck with us this long during the show.
Gave you permission to keep going.
Yeah, for real. What the fuck? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're on YouTube, all social media platforms. Comment, please, share. We read every comment. Obviously, we make comments. We even give shout outs. And like always, people, go one up yourself. Deuce.
Peace.